These might start going up on the YouTube pretty quick. I'm almost done with Silent Hill 2. So I might put these up next, because these are actually quick. These are going to be really quick to fucking render. I mean, the thing about it is we would definitely have to finish. If I did that, we're definitely going to have to finish pretty quick. So let's see, I've got 6 episodes recorded, so that's like 3 times a week. So I got enough for the next 2 weeks. It should be enough leeway, especially since we're still recording tonight. Alright. Welcome back, Twitch and YouTube, to just another game. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. And Junpei has decided this time, now that we've finally gone through all the intro for hopefully the last time. I don't think there's any decisions that need to be made that affect the rest of the game that you have to choose in the first part of the game that we just went through. No, I can't see the flowchart, but I'm pretty sure everything that we just went through isn't going to affect the game, so we shouldn't have to play this section again at all. Junpei decided that it had to be door 5.
Hey, wait.
Junpei's cry echoed across the room. The 4 people walking toward the door stopped and turned back toward him.
I want to go through door 5 too.
The words were scarcely out of his mouth when June spoke up.
What? What are you saying, Jumpy? If you're going through that door, then I'm going with you.
He turned around to look at her.
No, you can't. I can't take you with me.
Why?
Well, you know what's in there, don't you? Are you sure you want to see that?
Well...
June opened her mouth as if to say something, but instead closed it again and looked at the floor. Junpei felt an ache in his chest at her clear distress, but the choice was not his to make. There was nothing else he could do. Junpei turned away from June, doing his best to silence his turbulent emotions.
Please, let me go into door 5.
7 scratched his head and looked at the young man.
Man, now we're right back where we started, you know that?
Junpei's bracelet is number 5, right? If we are going to add Junpei, then we must subtract 5 from the rest of us.
Snake turned to Ace.
Ace, please, take good care of Clover.
Oh, all right. That's fine.
1 + 4 = 5.
Don't go away!
You need to listen to me, Clover. Go to door 4 with the others.
No!
Don't be so selfish.
Don't be a brat. And are you wearing your underwear today? Because apparently that's important. Snake's tone was harsh.
Why?
Tears welled up in Clover's eyes. She bit her lip and did her best to fight them off. Snake's expression softened and he put his arms around Clover. He held her close and whispered into her ear.
You'll be fine. Just relax.
It looked as though he whispered 2 or 3 more words, but whatever they were, Junpei didn't hear them.
Huh. What did he tell her?
He couldn't help but wonder what the other man had said. Snake pulled back from his sister, his eyes kind and inquiring.
Okay, I understand.
Her voice was barely audible from where Junpei stood. Before long, new teams were assembled.
Let's make sure we've got this straight. Those going to door 5 are me, 7, and Snake. 7 + 2 + 5 = 14. And the digital root of 14, 1 + 4, is 5. And those going to door 4 are Lotus, Santa, June, Ace, and Clover. 8 + 3 + 6 + 1 + 4 is 22. And the digital root of 22 is 2 +... We're okay with this?
No problems here.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right, then.
7, Snake, and Junpei scanned their number bracelets in quick succession. The screen of the red showed 3 asterisks.
The lever's all that's left. Okay. All right, then. Let's go.
Junpei glanced around one last time, his hand resting on the lever of the red.
Okay. Please be careful.
Concern was written plainly across her face.
We will.
Junpei looked her in the eye and gave what he hoped was a reassuring nod. He pulled the lever. With a sharp clack of a lock releasing, the door swung open.
And it's open.
Ahead of them in the small hallway were the pitiful remains of the 9th man.
Oh.
That's messed up.
That was the 9th man.
For a moment, Junpei froze. Try as he might, his eyes would not leave the corpse and his feet would not leave the floor. 7-2 seemed paralyzed. Snake, on the other hand, seemed unconcerned. He walked calmly down the bloody hallway and only stopped when he realized his companions were not following.
Oh.
How can you...
Well, do you intend to kill me? I assume you haven't forgotten the door only remains open for 9 seconds, have you?
He hadn't even bothered to turn around. His head was at most slightly cocked toward one shoulder.
Sorry.
Let's go!
Junpei and Seven looked at one another, nodded, and threw themselves through the door. There's some foreshadowing. As they did, a cold tone sounded from the left wrists of all three men. Seven and Junpei looked down at the bracelets. On both of them, and on Snake's, a red skull had been flickered to life. That's more like a pink, but
Damn
okay.
it. The countdown started!
They had scarcely processed this information when... God, blood fucking everywhere. With a metallic slam, the numbered door behind them swung shut.
Shit, the door!
Yeah, you know it's gotta smell great in there.
There's no turning back now. And if we don't manage to find the deactivation device...
Hey, where is the dead?
The fear and urgency in Seven's face redirected what all three of them felt.
How the hell should I know?
Stay calm. Look around you.
Okay, I get it.
Junpei spun around, searching desperately for the dead.
Ah!
He found it easily enough. It was on the wall next to the closed door labeled 5.
Found it! Right here!
Covered in blood. Great. As he yelled, he struck the scanner with his hand. The other two scrambled to follow suit. As soon as they finished, Snake threw the lever down.
Well, it looks like it stopped.
As he spoke, Junpei wiped the sweat from his forehead with a trembling hand.
Goddamn thing's gonna give me a heart attack.
A muscle stood out in Seven's neck and the corners of his mouth were twitching.
Jumpy, are you all right? Are you guys okay?
They could hear anxious voices muffled but distinct from the other side of the door.
Yeah, we're fine.
The detonators have been deactivated.
They heard relieved sighs, and even through the door, the three men could feel the tension disperse.
All right, we're moving on. Be careful, okay?
Okay. Sure thing.
We're not going to tell them what the device looks like, apparently.
And they're gone.
They heard footsteps moving away, and before long they were alone again. I should save since I've done this part. There we go.
Now.
Junpei looked around.
Doesn't look like we can go any further this way.
The hallway ended roughly 20 or 30 feet from where they stood.
Maybe this wall can be moved. Or not. It's not budging.
Hey, there's a door over there.
To the left, however, was a wooden door that looked positively inviting by comparison. In the middle of it was a plaque that read First Class.
A first-class cabin, huh?
Well, it seems like it.
Let's have a look then, shall we? All right then, let's go.
Yeah.
Without hesitation, Snake opened the door and stepped inside. Seven followed closely behind him. Junpei moved to follow them as well, but...
Oh.
He stopped just short of the threshold and looked back, not knowing why.
I don't want to look, but...
Lying in the small hallway was a man's body, or at least what was left of it. He tried hard to avoid looking at the grisly scene, but it just wouldn't leave his mind.
Oh, it's so horrible. I can't even tell what's what.
What had once been a man's internal organs now looked like so much vomit, as though something had chewed up and spit out the better part of his torso. It was hideous, but worse still, it was cruel. It was hard to believe the thing on the floor had once been human. The black pool of thick blood, the lumps of glistening flesh spread across the floor, the awkward twist and tangle of shredded intestines. The head wrenched to some grotesque, unnatural position. Yeah, you can see why they toned this down for Virtue's Last Reward.
He'd been wearing these.
The man's glasses lay next to his head. The lenses were cracked and the frame bent and distorted. And next to the glasses lay a bracelet, the number 9 still displayed on its face.
The bracelet's off. Oh wait, Zero did say.
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. Your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, When the panic setting and Mary's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
The bracelet comes off when you're dead. Oh, but what the hell's the point of getting it off when you end up like this? Ugh.
Is that a 9 or a 6? We can't tell anymore.
Oh, just imagining how it must have happened. This was a human. Oh,
Suddenly, Junpei felt his stomach convulse, and a knotted muscle gripped his throat.
oh God. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna puke. Oh, I gotta get out of here.
He clapped his hands over his mouth and ran to the first-class cabin. Better to puke in there, we can share it with everybody else. Then they can puke too, because everybody does that. The atmosphere changed immediately. The room was gorgeous, and despite the apparent age of the ship, none the worse for wear.
Huh, where did they...
He looked around. Seven and Snake were nowhere to be seen. There were 2 doors on the right side of the room. He opened the one on his right and went through.
Through here?
On the other side of the door was a short hallway. He jogged down the hallway, opened the door at the other end, and peeked through. There they were, to his right, busy examining something.
What's up?
He stepped through the door and walked toward them.
Check this out. We found this thing here on the door.
The red light's on. Does that mean it's locked?
So I would assume.
Is there any other way out?
We looked around a little. Other than this door, we didn't find anything.
So you're telling me that unless we can open this door?
Yes, we won't be going anywhere.
Junpei stepped away from the door and looked around the room.
This looks like a bedroom.
Then the other room is probably a living room, or the closest you can get to one on a ship.
All right, let's find a way to open this door. Come on, guys.
I wonder if they actually sped this up, or if this is just like the frame rate was improved when they moved it off of the DS, and this is just kind of a natural consequence. All right, this kind of also represents a room with one of the puzzles that I'm not very good at. All right, we get the score plate A, so we're gonna see how this goes. It took Junpei by surprise. Snake, usually so calm and collected, suddenly began to move. He stared about the room, almost frantically, clearly looking for something. No, Junpei thought, not staring. After all, he's blind. Blind or not, Snake was clearly attempting to do something. At last, Junpei could no longer contain his curiosity.
What's wrong? You got weird all of a sudden.
Snake waited a moment before answering.
I heard something strange.
Something strange.
Ah, well, never mind. It doesn't seem to be anything suspicious. I don't wish to toot my own horn, but my auditory senses are considerably more advanced than those of most humans.
Yeah, don't toot, please.
I notice even the slightest of noises.
Right. Are you gonna tell me you can hear a needle drop from a mile away?
No, such a thing would be impossible. However, by listening to the sound of footsteps and breathing, as well as sound echoing off the environment, I can locate most objects.
Oh yeah, that's right. When Clover fell on the big staircase a little while ago, you were at her side immediately. So that was...
Yes, I could hear it happening. In fact, I can run quite fast. Certainly as fast as you. And should someone attempt to start a fight with me, I am quite confident that I could defeat them.
Oh, really?
Great. Junpei was somewhat taken aback by this revelation. He stared at Snake, skeptical.
You don't believe me, do you? Care to give it a try?
No, thank you. I don't want my ass kicked by a blind man in a suit.
I must warn you, you'll no doubt regret it. Well, I suppose that's enough playing around. Let's resume our search, shall we?
With a small, self-satisfied smile, Snake turned and walked away from Junpei. Alright, well, that was either significant or not. A bed with a canopy. I've seen things like this in movies and stuff, but never in real life. True, you don't see too many these days. I can't see the details, obviously, but I imagine it's one of those princess beds Clover's so fond of. Clover wants one of these? Yes, she wants a princess bed. Didn't I say that? You think it doesn't suit her? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Ah, Junpei, judge her by her appearances, will you? And well, you should not. Okay, you're the one with the weird family, but whatever. A white disc feels kind of fancy. You're the one with weird house rules. What's this? This isn't a score, it's just a map of the ship. Map. There's a map of the ship here. And I imagine it will prove very helpful. You'd best hold on to it. It's not possible to use the map screen. Hooray. A music stand must well put this glass plate on it. Is something wrong? It's kind of hard to see the notes. Maybe if I put something under them? A background for the notes. It's totally a table with a mirror. Ah yes, you know that sort of thing is known as a vanity. Were you aware of that, Junpei? Of course, vanity also refers to self-love, conceit, and narcissism. As such, you could say that every day when a woman looks into one of these, she is staring at her own conceit and narcissism. Don't that strike you as terribly sad? So anyway, it's a table with a mirror on it. Totally empty. Alright. The safe is locked. It's one of those dial locks. It doesn't have a key, we just need to get the dials in the right place and it'll open. Did you find anything, Seven? Nope. How about you, Snake? I also found nothing. I found this. The C score plate, a leather suitcase. There's nothing inside. I can tell by the weight and it makes no noise when shaken. I could have just opened it. Unfortunately, there's nothing inside that one either. Alright. So I think we're done here. It's a heavy piece of paper that's been folded in half. It has score printed on the front of it. Score, that's gotta be musical score. If that's true, then score we found is probably in here. At least at some point. I guess I'm not gonna pick it up. This is some sort of antique desk. Makes sense though, this whole room's full of antiques. You could get a nice handful of cash for all the stuff in here. Alright, well there's something in there. There's an iron grate from the fireplace, there's something behind it. I'm not gonna reach in there because fire be hot, yo. I get it, you're gonna use this vase, right? That's pretty clever. We just gotta fill this thing with water. There's this G plate. Suitcase made of leather, that's the color rich mahogany. Well shoot, looks like nothing in it. Nothing in there. Okay. Bathtub's full of gross cloudy water, alright? Shouldn't be too hard to fill this up. There's a plug on the end of the chain. Why don't we just drain the water? A good tug, ought to be enough to get it out, huh? And we got score plate D. Sink's clean, any water? Nothing's coming out. We got the faucet on all the way, but I can't hear anything. Don't care, got water. It's a toilet. Doesn't seem to be anything in the toilet or the tank, so why does this exist? Some toilet paper, nothing looks suspicious. Wrong door. We leave immediately. There we go. Throw water on fire, make a steam explosion. Do what? Come on, it's not hard. You seriously throw that shit on there. Here we go. Yay, steam explosion. Another success. That fire didn't stand a chance. Yeah, fire's really hard. Alright, I'll just pull this out now. Don't want to get burned, so let's pull down the sleeves. We get the score plate. Alright, can we combine that with various scores? Don't think so. As Junpei tucked the plate into his pocket, Sevens cried out and stumbled, his balance lost. He threw out a hand and caught the wall in time to steady himself and avoid the floor, but his face was flushed and he looked startled.
Hey, Seven. What the hell was that? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just felt a little dizzy, that's all.
Seven rubbed a couple of his fingers across his brow and then shook his head as if to clear it.
What the hell is wrong with me? First memory loss, now I'm getting dizzy for no reason.
Memory loss?
Junpei couldn't hide the surprise in his voice. Seven first part seemed unconcerned.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't tell you, huh? I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up.
So Seven's memory loss is actually kind of... People, you know, they think it's an effect of the anesthetic gas, but it's actually implied it's from something else fairly more significant than that.
Didn't realize I hadn't told you.
You kind of get another hint as to what it could be when you go with Lotus later on. in one of the other doors. But 7 is actually kind of 7 and June basically are more, you have to pay attention to their mannerisms because they're more significant than they let on. June's fever, 7's memory, these are all important.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're talking about amnesia, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, why are you an amnesiac? What happened?
If I knew that, I wouldn't really be one, would I?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Junpei paused for a moment and stared at 7.
Are you telling the truth?
Huh?
Well, you look pretty calm for somebody who doesn't remember anything. If you've really got amnesia, shouldn't you be, like, upset or confused or something?
Well, sure. I mean, I was pretty confused when I woke up down on D-Deck. But that was a while ago. I've had some time to get used to it. After a while, I figured it wasn't worth the trouble of worrying about it. After all, why worry about something I can't change? Well, people usually don't stay amnesiacs forever. I figure it'll work itself out eventually.
You know, like a crick in your neck.
But that's it?
That's it. Alright, that's enough talking for now. Let's get back to work.
Damn, someone with 120 is playing this for 129 viewers. That's kind of crazy for an old game like this. Someone gave Junpei a look the younger man wasn't sure how to interpret and turned to walk away.
How are you fine with something like that?
Somehow, though, Junpei didn't find his reassurances very reassuring. Alright. Couch looks big enough for 3 people. Looks perfect for me. Perfect for an elegant gentleman like myself. Couch looks a lot more elegant. Hey, there's something you aren't saying. Never mind. Alright, I think that's all the score plates we need. Music stand seems as good as any place to put this music we found. Just gotta put this rank plate on the bottom. Put the glass plates at the top. Now I can play the music. Junpei, would you be so kind as to play the piano? I am unable to, you see. I'm sure I needn't tell you, but the keys on this piano are not what you might expect them to be. C won't be C, D won't be D, and so forth. You must listen carefully to determine which keys to strike. Do you understand? Alright, let's give this a shot. Alright. Let's kind of identify which keys are which. Where is that one? I don't think any of the flat keys play. There we go. That one, huh? I don't know what. God damn it. Okay. God damn it. God damn it. This is why I'm bad at this, because I can't remember 4 keys. Alright, hang on a sec. We're never gonna use that one. We're never gonna use that one. We use that one. We use... Okay. We don't use this one, and we don't use that one. Alright, so I'll have to remember these 4 keys. I'm doing great at that. God damn it. Okay, we made it through part 1. Shit. Oh boy. Okay. These all go from highest to lowest. I have to remember this. It goes high, low, high, low. God damn it, okay. God damn it. I told you I was bad at this. We did it. It only took 20 minutes. Because I have the memory of a goldfish. And we're done. Music is not my forte. Wait, what was that noise? Junpei, we did it. Looks like it worked. I heard something unlock over by the exit. Let's go. Good plan. Stand. Oh, be seated. Well, I guess he hasn't forgotten that. At least Snake thinks it's funny. Haha, yes, I suppose that was the classroom bell, wasn't it? I don't imagine that was what Zero was thinking of, however. No, Zero almost certainly meant to suggest Westminster, not middle school. Westminster? The palace in London that plays host these days to the Houses of Parliament. You've heard of Big Ben, the famous clock tower, yes? Big Ben plays that very collection of notes on the hour. London, the capital of England, huh? At any rate, the door's now unlocked. Let's leave this place immediately. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go! Fuck this place and everything in it. Yeah, I know who's gonna suffer with that piano. He came out of the door and into a long straight hallway.
Another hallway? Hmm?
He paused for a moment and turned around to look behind him.
That should do it.
Seven was bent over, apparently doing something to the door.
What's he up to?
Junpei spoke more or less to himself, but apparently Seven had heard anyway. The larger man stood up and turned to Junpei.
I was just putting one of those plates in there. It ought to keep the door from locking again. Now we can come back here anytime we want, right?
Ah, why would you want to come back here?
Snake was a reasonable one. 7 thought about it for a moment before he answered.
I might like to play a little piano.
Piano?
Come on, let's get moving. We aren't out of this yet.
Without waiting for an answer, 7 started off down the hallway.
Well then?
Snake shrugged, sighed, and quietly followed 7. That's a lie, Junpei thought to himself.
Can't say I could ever imagine 7 playing the piano.
That's rude. I feel like you get tired fucking everything in the room very fast. You don't know how much stamina I've got. Isn't there that game, Date Everything now? Actually, I guess it's not a new game.
He couldn't use the piano in there anyway. The keyboard's a mess. But why would he want to leave the door unlocked then? I have no clue. Hey, wait for me!
Junpei frowned, took one last look at the door, and then walked away towards his companions. After some time in the hallway, they emerged into a larger, more open area.
Whoa, a metal grate?
A large metal grate, like the door of a jail, divided in half.
Why is this thing...
This is actually going to come up to one of my favorite puzzle rooms. They shook it for a while, but as they had expected, it did not move.
Figures.
Are those elevators over there?
No way to know if they're working or not from here. Oh, there's a door just to the left of this grate.
Unfortunately, however, it was locked and refused to open.
Sounds like it's locked.
Yep.
Junpei took a moment to examine the left side of the room.
Stairs leading down.
They're blocked by the grate, though.
But this here seems accessible.
So we can open it?
I think it's locked too. Look.
In the center of the door was a small keyhole. Next to the keyhole, a small symbol had been carved into the metal.
What's this mark? The female symbol.
He wasn't quite sure what to make of it. Snake, naturally, was somewhat more sure.
Ah, the Venus symbol, I imagine. Do you recall the similar symbols near the large central stairway? They reference many of the solar bodies.
Oh, that's right. The Sun, Saturn, and Earth.
So, as you can see, that one is likely...
Not the woman symbol, but a Venus symbol.
So I assume.
Hold on. Where's 7?
While they had been discussing the symbols, Junpei now realized 7 had slipped away.
Ah, there he is, down that hallway.
Seven had left them to head down the hallway extending to the right of the stairs.
This way, Snake. Follow me.
Junpei grabbed Snake to lead him in the right direction, and they both headed off after 7. Before long, the 3 of them stood in front of a door.
I wonder if this door will...
It was a French
How
door.
about that? It opens.
Junpei tested the door and realized that unlike so many others that they encountered, it was unlocked. Almost as though he were afraid it would suddenly lock itself, Junpei threw the door open. He stepped inside. Yeah, this is one of my favorite rooms.
Oh, wow.
It took only a moment for Junpei to take in his new surroundings.
Is this some kind of casino?
Sure looks like one.
Before Junpei could comment further, a noise from behind made him turn around. Snake was shaking the door they'd just come through.
Well, this is troubling.
It did lock itself. Hey, how about that? As 7 and Junpei watched, he threw up his hands in frustration and then kicked the door for good measure.
It seems we are once again locked in.
There's no reason to panic, however.
Even if that door was open, it's not like we had anywhere to go that way.
So we must find another exit then.
All right, guys, let's split up and search this room.
Yeah, let's Scooby-Doo it up.
Come on, no dawdling. Let's go. Quickly now.
Spurred to action by 7's words, Junpei and Snake began to examine the room. Alright. Time to do what we usually do. Get out before we starve to death. Okay, let's see here. Hey Junpei, isn't that a card sitting on the table? This feeling, it seems to be a playing card. Okay, we got the 5 card, we got the Junpei card. Check out that stained glass. How beautiful. What? Huh? Stained glass is colored pieces of glass pieced together in a frame. As I've said many times, I need to only touch it to know. I can at least discern the basic structure. Let's see here. It says 1 on the plate. Slot machine is a pretty old-fashioned design. Looks well maintained and probably still works. The rest of this still works. But we probably need some coins. Wait, when those 2 lights turned on, I heard something from the bottom of the fireplace. What was that? I heard something down there. First, get a card, and Clover Diamond Heart, and a bag of coins. This seems to be a slot machine. There's a slot for coins. What happened? I heard an odd noise. Well, to be honest, I don't know. I pressed some of the buttons to smack the machine once or twice, nothing happened. Looks like the coin got stuck. Alright, we're not using that one. Alright, Clover Diamond Heart. Spin. Clover Diamond Heart. 777! And I think here's something unlocking in there. Impressive, it would appear to be unlocked now. There's something akin to a drawer. But pick up drawer for dividend, perhaps. Please open it. Yeah, I would, if you'd let me. There's something in there. A playing card, and the Venus symbol key. Looked a lot like the sun key from here, but I'll take your word for it. Okay. Got no more coin. Another playing card. 7 card. A playing card, and the 4 card. There's a whole lot of glasses on the shelf. Doesn't look like there's anything back there. Counter's pretty well polished. Oh, you look at that. Someone left a bottle of booze here. Don't mind if I do. Glug, glug, glug. Oh, that hits the spot. Feels like my throat's burning. Damn, he really drank it. We don't know how long it's been there. Okay, I think it means I've got all the cards. Except for that one. Oh, this place is like super amazing. What's this place for? Probably for playing Baccarat. Looks like a little off though. Yeah, look at the middle of the table. There's something mounted on it, see? Suddenly, Seven began to speak.
Ah, Baccarat. You ever played Junpei?
Junpei shook his head. He barely even heard of the game.
No, never.
Alright then, how about I explain the rules to you a bit? See, Baccarat is kind of an unusual game. You've got the banker and the player. The whole point is that you guess which one's gonna win. And whether the banker or the player wins, it all depends on their hands. The way each hand works is different from other games too. See, you take the number from the ones place after you add up the value of all your cards. Whoever gets the number closest to 9 wins. If your number is smaller than your opponent's, you lose. And that's it. That's the explanation. Well, actually, there's a lot more to it. Strategy, details, that sort of stuff. But what I just told you sums up the core of the game pretty well. The single digit of the sum of all the cards you have. The strongest hand is a 9, and the weakest hand is a 0. You just ignore the number in the 10 spot. Do you get it?
Yeah.
He hadn't been asked for it, but Seven's explanation, rushed though it had been, was helpful.
Well, maybe half of it. Enough. I got a chance at winning the game if I played now.
However, we have no way of knowing if the puzzle in the Baccarat table makes use of those rules, and if it does, in what manner.
Then I guess we try everything.
Feeling more confident, if only slightly, Junpei approached the Baccarat table. Alright, so let's see here. We need to beat an 8, so we need a 9. So let's see here. To make 9, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And 3 cards. Clearly, we'll just use the 4, 3, and the 2. We're really supposed to play Baccarat. It's a Baccarat table. What the hell would we do? Stop. It's real simple. What's the opponent's hand? There's an 8. 3 cards. There are a couple indentations with white lines around them. This means we gotta put down 3 cards, so defeat the opponent's 8. Alright. Let's give it a shot. Yes, I understand. All right, okay. 4, 3, 2. And we get the 8. Great, you did it, Junpei. You think it's telling us to take the 8 card? Let's grab it. Okay, we got all the cards besides 9. We got the 8 card. Don't need to hang around here anymore. I guess I'm not going to take those cards with me. Ah, we just need the 8 card. Here's the card slot. Looks like we need to put a playing card in here. Put it there. And in you go, it opened up. Seems we have another device to contend with, yes? There are 3 slots in this one. 3 slots for cards, and there's 9 right below them. Just like we did with the Baccarat table. Well, we can make 18. Because that'll give us a digital root of 9. What happens now? I did hear something from the exit. Excellent work, Junpei. Wonderful. It seems the exit is unlocked. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, easy fucking room. These early puzzles are pretty easy. Don't remember which ones, if I really struggled with many of them. A few of the later puzzles are certainly obscure. But as far as puzzle difficulty goes, Virtuous Last Reward is kind of considered the hardest game because there's some things that you either have to have done before or just kind of intuit. And the game doesn't do a really good, solid job of kind of explaining how you're supposed to work them sometimes. Like they may make more sense in like the original Japanese, and localization might screw it up. Or they just might kind of be just kind of obscure puzzles. But 999 is not really a difficult game. Junpei and his companions ran out of the casino and into a large open room. A room, in fact, that they had been in once before. There was little to surprise them there. They had already knew what their next step had to be.
This way.
The iron gate still stood in place, locked tight, blocking the stairway, and right in the center of it,
The keyhole with the Venus symbol.
So this implies that, despite the fact that in the flowchart you go through the 5-door first, chronologically, the 4-door happens first. Because whoever
The
goes to the
Venus key should work
casino
here.
unlocks this gate. Wasting no time, he pulled it out and shoved it into the keyhole. He turned it. With a distinctive sound of metal on metal, he felt the lock click open.
It sounds like it did. All right, let's get this thing open.
No problem. Let me help with this one.
Junpei grabbed the handle on the left side and Seven took the handle on the right. On Junpei's signal, they both pushed and the gate creaked open.
It sounds as though you have opened it. We should be able to reach C deck now, I imagine.
Snake, are you gonna be all right? I mean, the stairs.
Please, do not do yourself the embarrassment of underestimating me. I would be unlikely to trip even if I were running backwards.
You're a little bit of a braggart, Snake, but okay.
Good to hear. Let's move.
One second, I need to check something. At Seven's words, they leapt on the stairs and jogged quickly down them. In no time at all, they found themselves on C deck.
Everything looks okay here.
We should check the next deck down, just in case.
When he reached the water, he called back up to Snake and Seven.
Just what I thought. D-deck is completely underwater.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
The surface of the water below them was flat, like a mirror.
I'm just glad the water level hasn't changed much.
Back to the C deck then.
Now, how about we check out what's here?
They began searching around and taking stock of what was on C deck.
There are 2 elevators over there, which means it's probably the same upstairs.
There's a card reader between, and another weird mark.
Hey, check it out. It's the symbol for Lotus.
What?
See? It's got the woman symbol, and then it's got the devil horns, right?
Yeah, I see it. No 2 ways about it. That was a pretty good one, kid.
Seven tousled Junpei's hair in what he likely thought to be a friendly manner. Junpei feared his neck might break, even though it was clear someone had kept his strength in check.
Oh, whoa, would you watch it, man? Whoa, that hurts. You're gonna break my neck.
What are you talking about? The human body ain't that weak.
Yours ain't.
Maybe this'll toughen you up, huh?
If we were looking for a devil, we've got one right here.
Yeah, Junpei never turns out well when he makes that stupid joke. Thankfully, Snake interrupted. After Junpei's observation, he'd gone over to examine the card reader.
This is a Mercury symbol. The marks you mistook for horns are a stylized version of the wings and staff of Hermes.
Wings and a staff. Huh. So then, she beats you with the staff until you die and go to heaven. Sounds like Lotus, all right.
Junpei, don't be an ass.
Okay.
Seven shook Junpei's head even more vigorously, and the younger man began to feel as though his brain were being jostled inside of the skull. And he deserved it.
Seven! Oh, that's too much! Oh, my head!
Junpei's stomach began churning uncomfortably.
Oh, I think I'm gonna puke.
Unless we can activate this device, I doubt the elevator will function.
In other words, we gotta find a key card with a Mercury symbol on it.
So I would assume.
Let's forget the elevators for right now. How about that hallway to the left?
Whoa, there's a bunch of doors.
There were a great many doors lining both sides of the hallway. They seemed to stretch on forever, and all three men suddenly felt very small.
Ah, shit. We're not gonna have enough time to check all these, are we?
Maybe we can come back here later. We should check out the other side. Let's head back.
To the right of the stairs, another hallway stretched out, reaching deep into the bowels of the ship.
To the right this time.
After a few moments of moving briskly down the hallway, they emerged into an area roughly the same size and shape as the one at the top of the stairs. On the left side of the room were 4 French doors.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
Why do you keep pitching about the doors?
Let's open them up, starting with the closest one there.
Okay, I'm on it.
Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move.
Huh, it isn't locked. I'm going to open it.
Thrilled to have found another unlocked door, he threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw.
What?
He simply stood, unable to speak. Seven's eyes opened wide and his mouth gaped. After a few long moments, Seven at last managed to speak.
Hey, what is this place? It's so huge.
A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on Seven and Junpei. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
Oh, there are beds everywhere.
Is this a hospital? The harsh scent in the air is reminiscent of antiseptic solution.
I think so. There are shelves in the center of the room with medicine and surgical tools.
Hey, look there. The 4 doors at the end.
3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint.
The left door says... The second door is blank, but the third has a 7. And the rightmost door is 8. There's no doubt. They're numbered doors.
Hey, why's that door between 3 and 7 blank? Does that mean anything?
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yeah, good idea.
The 3 of them threaded their way through the beds toward the back of the room. Upon reaching them, they proceeded to investigate each door in turn, but to no avail.
Yep, locked. Just like I thought.
Naturally. After all, there are rules to the nonary game, and to allow these doors to open easily would violate those rules. Unless we can authenticate ourselves with the red, the numbered doors will...
Whoa, check this out.
Suddenly, Seven spoke up, interrupting Snake.
Look at the red. There's nothing on it.
Huh?
Don't you remember the red back at the main staircase? If there wasn't anyone in it, it said vacant on the little screen, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But this one,
There's nothing.
right? You think it's broken?
Only one way to find out.
No, nothing.
Junpei and the others put their hands on the panel, but nothing happened. The red refused to change. They tried pulling the lever and still nothing. As they soon discovered it wasn't only the red on door 8 that seemed to be malfunctioning.
How about the red on door 7? And door 3?
I didn't think all of them would be malfunctioning.
What does it mean?
They've got to be broken. Man, that bastard. I didn't think Zero was the kind of guy who'd screw around with something like this.
Whoa, whoa, Zero's been prepared for everything so far, and you're saying he's gonna make a mistake now?
Well, that's the only thing I can think of. This thing ain't working at all.
Hmm.
While Junpei and Seven talked, Snake busied himself with examining the red. After a time, he lowered his hands and spoke.
It seems as if some of the internal hardware has been removed.
Internal hardware?
That is what I said. Take a look at the underside of this red, if you please.
The bottom?
Junpei obliged and bent over to look at the underside of the device.
Huh, there's a thin slot here. I think it's a slot for something. Probably electronic.
The other two reds are the same. Something's been removed from all three of them.
I get it. So the reds aren't working because somebody pulled out their guts.
So I assume.
But why? And who? I mean, it really doesn't make sense.
I have no idea. Why on earth would I know something like that?
Just then, they heard the sound of a door opening.
Oh, what now?
The three of them turned and saw Akane. Oh, no, Junpei thought, it's...
June!
She stopped short, surprised to see them, and was very nearly bowled over by the rest of her companions who were coming through the door behind her.
Ace! Santa! Clover! And Lotus!
Good thing she wasn't here for that Lotus joke.
Guess everyone's here.
Junpei and Seven were, for the moment, at a loss for words.
What are you guys doing?
Why are you...
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see each other once again. And I think at that point... Nope. We're getting close. Not quite meeting up. Hang on a sec. What did I just get notified about? Let's see. But so there's probably something. Almost as though they'd forgotten about the death of the ninth man. Perhaps it wasn't it. Perhaps the thoughts of his death, not in a morbid, hateful way, but they're alive. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy. Yeah. So we'll see if this dialogue
And that's what we know.
finishes dovetailing. With that, Junpei finished his own explanation.
Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
What about that big hallway? Maybe there's somewhere in there we might be able to go.
No, there's nothing there. The five of us had a quick look. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
You mean all those doors are for hospital rooms?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
It had one of those solar system mark things on it.
It was the Jupiter symbol.
Jupiter.
I wonder what it means.
Confusion seemed to be the consensus.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
No one, not even Snake, appeared ready to offer an answer until someone unexpectedly spoke out.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
Again, this is... if they're referring to the Gigantic, but there were three ships in the Titanic line. There is the Olympic, the Titanic, and the Britannic. The Britannic was... I think the Olympic was the first one. The Titanic was the second, and the Britannic was the third. Pretty sure the Gigantic is referring to the Britannic, which I almost am certain was turned into a military ship during the Great War?
The gigantic?
All right, we've seen this. He's not the only
What
one.
is this gigantic?
Seven
The
begin to speak.
She was a sister ship to the Titanic. Actually, the Titanic had 2 sister ships. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital. At some point during the war, the gigantic, she ran aground afterwards. What happened to her after that? One
We've seen
theory
this
going
before.
around is that it seemed like he'd been one of that trauma turned him. Soon enough, the guy wanted that, which was impossible, of course. But the gigantic wasn't.
So you're saying this Lord...
Yeah, at least.
That's impossible. No way we're in some
Pipe down. What, that's it?
Proof?
Proof that this ship...
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and
No,
a
this
hospital
dovetail
ship.
finally? Not
So,
quite.
I just figured.
Oh,
No.
like?
Well,
I think he's about to say that.
I don't know.
I think this is
I
about to be.
guess-
The
Yeah.
difference is
Sorry about that.
Junpei actually knows about his missing memory now. Then, almost as if to say 7 from further embarrassment. A bell began to ring from far away.
Oh.
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12.
It's midnight.
Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
How did those rooms take? I guess we spent a lot of time yapping and fighting.
Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We've looked everywhere in this room,
They had been examining the room as they talked.
but we haven't found anything.
Right.
That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
Huh?
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Well, you already checked some of them out before you came here, right?
We each checked a single room, so 5 rooms in total.
All right then. That's 5 rooms we don't have to search. We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Lotus did not seem excited by the prospect. 7 fidgeted nervously before responding.
Maybe?
After some discussion, the 8 of them decided which rooms to begin with and in which order they would go. Junpei was chosen to search the rooms at the starboard side, moving from fore to aft.
All right, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
Yeah.
Yes!
They also determined when they would return to report their findings the next time the clock sounded the time. When it did, they would meet back in the large central room full of beds.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again.
Yeah, sounds straightforward.
Blah, blah, blah. If during their search any one of them were to locate the missing components, they were to yell for the others.
I'll shout if I find any of the components.
I hope we can find them within the...
If this strategy failed, they returned to discuss their options later.
If we can't, then we'll just have...
Right.
Then let's do this.
The details decided they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, from far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
Alright, and let's see here. Now we've finally finished this route, and we pretty much... We're gonna make some choices, but at this point, we've now played through both sides of kind of the introductory storyline. At this point, unless I'm going through here to make some decisions, and I don't really need to make decisions in the 5 route yet. There are some endings and some things that kind of deal with the with the 5 door. But mostly what we're going to be interested is the 4 door. Like, honestly, picking up a couple of things in the 4 door is going to be how we work our way slowly to the true ending. That doesn't mean the 5 door is completely useless. We need to get some knowledge from here, and there are some things that only end in the 5 door. But we won't have to play through this beginning segment again. We'll be able to just... We're going to have to play a couple of escape rooms for sure, but we can just jump to those. Like, all the decisions we have to make kind of deal with the escape rooms. So we're going to be replaying escape rooms a lot, which does get a little annoying. You can skip the novel sections, but you can't skip much of the escape rooms. So we're going to get real familiar with those puzzles. Anyway, we're going to call it an episode for YouTube here because I can pretty much just skip a bunch of this dialogue. Might change a little bit depending on which ending I'm going to go for. Last time I was pretty solidly tuned in to the axe ending. I really wanted to see that one. I may take a quick look to see if there are any choices in either of these segments that affect anything, but I don't think they do. Not yet. Really what we're probably going to do is just go straight to the next set of doors. And then maybe straight to the next set of doors in this one, because this may not last very long. It's not a very long one. But we're going to do that next time. I need to get up, stretch my legs. I will be back in a couple of minutes. So Twitch, I will see you then. YouTube, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed what you saw, let me know. Give me likes, send me comments. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you then. Twitch, I'll be back in about 5 minutes.